better mention me. Word up, nigga, word up. I'm in the game, no benching me. I roll that pack, no century. We heard that word you sent for me. I'm about that life, don't question me. Nah, listen close, learn, lesson, see. All my niggas about that, they be steady on the road. I don't really do no hang-ups, but got something you can hold. Yeah, sure to get that on the pole. Throw that shit back, drop it low. On the road, I've been rolling, sorry that I gotta go. Whoa, you talking about the best, you better mention me. You talking like a bitch, got women tendencies. I'm flexing on them, living the real life that you pretend to be. I'ma make you all remember me.
You ain't talking about no money, motherfucker, don't mention me.
Don't mention me.
Talking about a nigga, how we got it going, now you better mention me. Going harder than the starter in the game, nigga, there ain't no mention me. You talking MVP, then you better mention me. These nigga mention me, these bitch mention me. You feel you ain't talking about no money, please don't mention me. These nigga mention me, these bitch mention me. You talking MVP, damn right, that nigga mention me.
What up?
Tack in the control room right here.
Tic Tac representing OBC, Black Magic Movement. Shout out to Sam Sos, The Block, Donnie Yonda, Street Pharmacy.
All right. So we got that track that we worked on. I played it a couple of weeks. Yeah, we played it for a few weeks on Block Talks, but we never.
You should write down let me plug the write down what.
We're live right now, so we're on Block Talks. We're on Block Talks live right now, so we'll get all of that discussed, off air on the side note. But this track right here, you know what? I'm gonna throw it to the track, and then we'll talk a little bit about it after.
We on the block. You better duck from the shot, homeboy. White boy fly. Tic tac now. Mr. Bates now. Paranoid now. I'm melodramatic, a felon saying hello to havoc. My melon is swelling like I just fell into traffic. And did I mention, all of the tension got me cemented. I'm sensing, all of my sentences are demented. A meth head, kidding my methods are more like deathbeds for sick kids. Kicking this lifted, so take your best guess. Who is this? Physical fitness, I need a fresh breath. So listen, the shit that I'm kicking can leave you breathless. It's over, I'm rolling in a Nova, homie, 10 deep. My enemies have sent you, the devil he has sent me. Reaper of the speaker plus the keeper of the funk. You're the reign of the tech when I'm reaching for the trunk.
All right, that track right there, that was a 16 and out, you know what I mean? So, talk to the listeners. What's going on?
What up? Yo, this is Big Tac, a.k.a. Paranorman, a.k.a. In Your Face with the Bass. I want to give a shout-out to The Block up in this motherfucker.
That's
Big
what it is.
shout-out to Sam Sos, Black Magic Movement. You know where you're at. Donnie Yonda. Yeah, so The Block's going to pump you off with some more dope shit for the day.
Speaking of, you know what? I see J.D. Era making some serious moves across the country, you know what I mean? Taking pictures with different local artists and all of that stuff, too.
Word
You know what I mean? And like I said, we got a lot happening. There's the Dre Specs tour happening. You can look out for your different locations across Toronto and the GTA.
Look it up online.
We got it online, facebook.com. Look up Curse Dre. Look up Denver Lovely as well.
Denver Love.
You know what I mean? He's got some more tracks there. So, what's your inspiration for your beat making? Like, what is it that gives you...
Oh, man.
And I've heard a few
Straight
of them.
Straight love. I fell in love with it, late 1998. Started making beats in 2000. Kind of self-taught, all self-taught, basically. You know, I had a couple buddies that went to school for it, but I was basically told that you don't need to be doing that with the mind and the heart that you put into your music.
All right.
So, yeah, man, I just take some samples. I got my little setup, you know, like most people around the world, drum machine, mixer, program. And, yeah, you bump it out from there, man. You don't need good equipment. You just need a good brain.
That's what it is, the hard work and dedication.
Word.
So, Let's talk about the samples now, because I've heard some that you've composed from
All right.
scratch and some that you've composed with samples. What's your preference as a producer?
Well, for sure, samples. Samples has got to be the number one thing because it's just so raw and authentic, you know. Like, and if you check it out, all of the best producers nowadays, and back in the day especially, use sample-based beats. I mean, like, I could bang out a beat without a sample, but you just don't get that same feel and the same. Just you get that era of the music where it came from back then in the 70s, the 60s, you know, and you could just flip it and make it your own. So that's why I fell in love with sampling over doing the analog stuff.
And that's the thing. You're right. When you put it that way, and you hear the description that went into there, it's not like he's just taking it. Oh, I like the way this sounds. Like there's a method to it.
Yeah. You don't just take something and loop it and make it. That's not making it your own, right? You gotta do the chop game. You gotta do filters. You gotta do all kinds of that stuff to make it your own. And man, it pays off in the end. Let me tell you. I mean, royalties. There's some icky stuff about that, but
Tell me about it.
if it's worth it, the people will know that your heart is in the right place, and money ain't all of it, right? So
It's about, you know what I mean? There's
money is something. Don't get me wrong.
But money is a medium of exchange, and the media can be seen as a rift that causes twisted mainframes.
That's word.
But here's a track right here, produced by Attack. It's called 3 O'Clock. If you're looking for that, you can get at me at The Block Online on Twitter, or send an email to blockbasics@gmail.com.
Lots of beats.
Said we're in the works right here. EBO 3.14 is still in the building, but he's just taking the administrative approach. He's sharing online. By the way, if you got a tweet from or a Facebook share from EBO 3.14 or a message, thanks for listening. All right, we got about 8 minutes. Well, unless I run overtime, which I may just. So, Tech, what is the biggest change you've noticed from when music was real to whatever they've done with it now? I'm going to say the 90s to now, like over the last 2 decades.
I just, back in the day, you had to have your A game coming. You couldn't just be mediocre, or someone would pull your card. They would call you on that shit. So most MCs and producers and DJs were 100% authentic to what they do. Nowadays, it seems like 90% of these motherfuckers is just making the song for a hot video or for a paycheck or what have you, right? So
as opposed to for the actual
heart
art.
And the love, it just seems like, excluding the likes of some people, like J. Cole or Lupe Fiasco.
Got to mention Kendrick Lamar as well, if we're talking about.
Of course.
Yeah.
Even mediocre stuff like Drake. He is kind of commercial and whatnot, and he does stuff for the radio play. But at the same time, if you go digging, he does have some hot shit.
Yeah.
So there's just a big difference in the eras, and I don't know if we'll ever get back to that point again. I guess we were spoiled, coming up in that era, right?
Yeah, I would reason. Yeah, we were, because we had like the Pox, the Puns, the Biggies, the L's,
and even more underground like Hieroglyphics, Black Sheep,
Tech
all kinds of
Nine.
stuff, right?
Man, who else? Mr. Cheeks.
That was my big influence, and that's where I hope you could hear in my beats. That's where I'm trying to throw it back to.
You got to mention the Chauclairs and the Cardinals and the Maestros and you know what I mean, the Rascals and all that stuff.
Infinite, Mathematic, all those dudes.
Classified.
Classified is huge. He did it the right way.
Yeah, he has this one track that he details. It's like 12 mixtapes, 12 shows over the 12 years and all of that stuff. And it's like,
and he even, for beginners making beats, if you check out Classified CD, I think it's Hitchhiking Music.
Okay.
He actually has a beat on there where he breaks it down on how he makes his beats and turns it into a beat. It's actually amazing for those who want to know the basics of getting a sample beat together.
Well, if we want to talk about how to break it down, if you go to Block Basics Studios on YouTube, the schematic for attaining success in any branch of the multimedia pursuit
Right.
is detailed in what's it costs. I'd like to state some facts. If you say you rap, listen to how you can make paper stacks. It takes marketing and heart in, determination with pride strong as lions.
Well, and that goes back to my point to where a lot of music nowadays is just over marketed, and that's the reason why people are buying it, not for the talent, but just for the marketing, how much it's thrown in your face.
Exactly.
Right?
So repetitively, and some of the things, don't get me wrong, there are certain elements. Yeah, you want your party track, you want your feel-good track, you want your
whole album full of party tracks. You know, that's not a legit way of bringing music to the masses. You got to give me something else besides money, cash, hoes. You know what I'm saying?
Diversity.
I'd like to hear a little bit of brain matter in those songs too.
Sociological development. It's like, how is it that all of these corporations can attain all of these billions of dollars of profits without being held accountable for the complications that are a residual of their pursuits?
And that's why nowadays you see more and more people doing the independent thing or the indie thing, because they make their own rules and get to do what they want. Not necessarily that it's going to come out better, but 90% of the time it does, because you have the last say on everything.
Exactly, and that's what it is, and that's where some of the challenge is too, because
So hit up the block, man. He's got mad artists to choose from. You could get tack beats there. You could get stuff from the block. I mean, this dude's plugging mad local talent. You got to hit it up to hear it though.
Yeah, and that's where it is. So I can only get as far as the links you like, share, and retweet.
Right.
All right. So that being said, I mean, we got a controversial production track next. We got some Bo Baines, but with the flow of things going here now, what are the top 3 things you would say based on your experience with those you've worked with and those in your network, and what you, from your research in the game and your experience, what are the 3 things you think are a necessary element for success? For success, yes.
Well, first you got to have the drive. If you don't have the drive and the want to do it, it's going to be hard out there, man. Because even if you got all the skill in the world, there's a next man waiting that has more drive. He's going to get it. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be the one pushing it, right? So that's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, you got to have a strong network of supporters. I mean, if you don't have supporters, it's next to impossible to get out there. I mean, even if they're just buddies, family, the local area, as long as you're putting out stuff, people should follow you and respect that. And for the third thing is, and it's sad to say, but you need to have a little bit of money to start off with. And I mean, not to flaunt, not to go to the clubs, but I mean to put into your craft.
Okay, thank you for saying that.
You need to harness it, you know. You need to 100% be dedicated to what you are doing and putting out.
Yes.
Don't put out anything mediocre until you're absolutely happy with it.
And that's the thing. It is important to be in those social circles, but it's the appropriate social circles that will get you that attention or that notice.
And if you have the talent and you have all 3 of those things in line, you're gonna get somewhere. Someone along the way is gonna see that. I mean, it might take a bit, but hey, man, a lot of best rappers that came out didn't get hot or didn't get noticed till they're in their 30s. So you gotta remember that, take that into mind, and just keep pushing, man. You gotta keep pushing.
Yeah.
Especially in Canada.
In Canada, it's like it's almost like Canadian rappers feel like they have to follow the American blueprint in order to establish themselves.
You know,
and it doesn't always work.
That mold was totally crushed by people like Classified. People like Cardinal. Well, not necessarily Cardinal, but his circle of people, right? Choclair.
I'd like to say
Rascals.
Cardinal challenged the challenged
no
the
doubt
status
he
quo,
did. But near the end there, you could tell he was catering to the American populace to try to get a crossover song into their country, which is fine. I
think he gets a buy with pretty much anything he does
put
after
in his
a track
work.
like the anthem.
Yeah, he's
you know
put in
I mean?
his work to be able to do that. Nowadays, you see that with Classified getting Snoop, but all those dudes from Canada straight up put in hard work. And if you want a template to follow, I would say Classified's probably your best example for producer/rappers.
All right, okay. So you got that. Look it up. Classified. I'm sure you type him in.
Oh, mad stuff will come.
You'll find all kinds of stuff. He's got that track, Oh Canada, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a patriot to a fault. You know what I mean? So to see that there are, and it's not a matter of saying, oh, I'm pro-Canada. Just because I'm pro-Canada doesn't mean I'm anti-America.
Word,
It just means
word.
I represent where I
Represent
come
the North.
from as I am. Exactly. Expose the North, and that's what I'm about. So to have you in the studio right now, knowing that, and